All right, what's up, you nerds? Today we're actually going to talk about how to make $100,000 in 2024 the real way. A lot of people that are posting things out there, they think you're a robot. They don't actually connect to what's going to get you to make the $100,000. So it's a simple process. I learned this in my 20s. I'm going to teach it to you. It's 3 simple steps. We're going to go through it, and so you can start making money. And don't be a nerd. You can obviously make more than 100,000. You can use this formula for anything. It doesn't actually even have to be about money, but if you use it, you can use it for anything you want. All right. So I'm gonna tell you a quick little story about how I made my first $100,000 and how I learned about this. Because when I got out of school, I started my 9-to-5 job. I hated my life. I'm making like 40 grand a year. I'm bartending on weekends. And I remember coming home one day and my dad was training a new sales agent for the insurance agency that my dad worked for. And this guy who he was training, he actually bartended downtown. I knew the guy, and in my opinion, I thought I was much smarter than this guy, more ambitious than this guy. And I remember my dad coming home and saying like, oh, we'll just make up a name. Timmy over here made 500 bucks today. And I'm like, well, I need to make 100 grand. I'm like, I only need to make about $300 a day. And this idiot just made $500 a day. So what happened was the first piece of the puzzle was belief, right? So this area over here is the belief. So on a scale from 0, meaning it's impossible, you don't believe at all, right, up to a 10, which is 100% certain. So I didn't know how to make $100,000. I didn't know it was possible. I was just told what the school system thought. So maybe my belief was down like here. Maybe it was like 2, right? But then I heard this guy literally that just went out one day, just started this thing, and he made $500. I go, so my belief started to increase. So I started to believe more that it was possible. So this section is from 0 to 10. So you're going to ask yourself, well, what do I actually need to believe? What stories, what information do I need to get to believe that I can actually make $100,000? The more information, the more belief, the stronger the belief gets, you become certain, right? So certainty. So up here, 10 is 100% certain. Down here, impossible, right? So 0 is impossible, 10, 100% certain. Great. So these first 2 that we're going to talk about is your belief. And then the second one over here, this is after that. The second part of that story was I hated my job so much that I needed to be in control of my life, right? I needed money, couldn't breathe, right? So that's where this section comes in, is a need or desire for that thing. So if you're like, oh, I'm 100% certain it's possible, I can make the $100,000, I've learned all this stuff, but then you're like, I don't really need it, right? Don't need. Well, that's like a 1. Well, we're at like 10. So 10 times 1, too much strength in the action. So these first 2 is the belief and the need, and that is going to create the power of the action, right? The strength of the action, the depth of the action you're willing to take. Because no matter what, if you want something in this world, you're going to have to take some type of action towards that thing. So, for instance, if you work on how do I get my belief, my certainty that this is possible, right? These are actually possible things. And then on top of it, I need this thing, I need to breathe. I couldn't go back and work for somebody else. It was impossible for me to be employed by somebody else. I literally would rather go live on a beach, I don't know, renting jet skis or something like that. That was how bad I hated my life at that point. So the need was so strong that I was basically at, maybe not 100, because that's like 100. So think of it like this. The stronger the pull is, right, that right here is going to be the strength of the action. I like to think of it like a rubber band. So these first 2 things, the belief and the need, are going to get you stronger of the pull or push to where you want to go. But then the last piece, so these are the first 2. How do you gain more belief, more certainty? You go out and get information, you try things, you learn things, you seek information to, get that belief, so you're certain in that belief it's possible, right? And then the next is, why do you need it, right? What's wrong? What will happen to your life if you don't do it? What will happen? How good will your life be if you do it? So you compound all of these needs and desires to gain that strength. So those are the first 2 things. So if you can do that and you can tie it to, let's say, $100,000, your belief it's possible, plus you need it, perfect. We have a strong foundation for actions. But then the last piece, this is the most important piece, because you might even say, Matt, I know it's possible and I need it. I want money. It's important, right? I need it. But you don't have it. And the last piece is the ability to control your emotions. So this piece is going to be your emotional control, because I needed it, right? And I had the belief, but there were a lot of days I woke up when I started selling, knocking on doors, and I didn't want to do it. It didn't feel good. I didn't like it. It sucked, but I knew, because I believed in myself and I needed it. I did it anyways. I didn't care how I felt. I still went out and I knocked on the doors. I got a little bit better, and that actually built the certainty even more, and the need became even stronger. But if you don't have emotional control, think of this as like a slingshot or a rubber band. So you can either propel you to where you want to go, or it can push you down into a terrible life of taking actions, very strong actions, but not in the direction of where you want to go. So that's why you need emotional control. That's why I take cold showers. That's why I do difficult things. It's not that I know there's nerdy stuff out there, science and stuff like that, saying it'd be good for you, all this other stuff. All I care about is it strengthens my belief in myself that I can do difficult things even though I don't want to do them. Because sometimes to get what you want, you need to control your emotions. The little animal brain in the back of your head is trying to tell you that, oh, that's going to hurt, or somebody's going to kick you out of the tribe. But if you can master these three things, you literally can have anything you want. And obviously we talk about making money, but put X, Y, and Z up here. Whatever it is, doesn't matter. Gain the belief. How do you get completely certain that it's possible? How do you know that it's a desire and a need that's going to make your life better for you, the people around you? And then how do you control your emotions to point the actions in the right direction? So go out there, ask yourself, how do I gain more beliefs? How do I push that desire and that need to strengthen my actions? And then how do I control my emotions to take those actions and point them where you want to go? Hopefully this was helpful. Come back, check out a whole bunch of videos. I think I still have a course for $1 right now for financial freedom. Check it out if you want. Go over to Instagram, MOBMATT, and come back for more videos. Peace.